Thursday night, the 2025 NFL Draft will officially be open, and today I'm breaking down the 21 players that I could see realistically being the selection in round one for the Washington Commanders at number 29 overall. Welcome into the Commanders Report. I'm your host, Jack Sperry. Now predict it for me down there in the comment section to kick off today's show. Who will be the Commanders' round one draft selection this year? Who do you think it's going to be? Let me know what you guys think down there in the comment section to kick off today's show. So the truth of the matter here, guys, is that there is a number of different ways that the Washington Commanders could go at number 29 because you don't know which positions there's going to be run-ons. There could be a run on edge rushers, there could be a run at receiver, there could be a run on a bunch of different things, and just depending on how the board kind of falls, I think is going to depend on who the Commanders are going to end up taking, what position group the Commanders end up taking in round one of the NFL Draft. And, of course, for all we know, a trade could happen, and they could trade their first-round pick for Trey Hendrickson at any moment, and they don't have a first-round pick, or they could trade out of the first round entirely, which is something that is very possible, by the way. But if they are going to use their first-round selection on a player at number 29 overall, I think the six positions that they could be considering are edge rusher, strong safety, cornerback, wide receiver, offensive line, and running back. It's a wide array of positions that the Commanders could consider here with this first-round selection. So let's start with the one that most people kind of identify as the main need for the Washington Commanders at this point in the offseason, and that is edge rushers. Mike Green out of Marshall has some character concerns, has a history of sexual assault in the past when he was a younger person. That's going to be a big part of the process here. If he starts falling, some of these teams are definitely not comfortable with putting him in their locker room and investing a lot of money in that young man. And if he makes it there, maybe Dan Quinn feels like his culture is strong enough, and he's certainly got the talent to be Washington's number one edge rusher on day one. Donovan Ezeraku out of Boston College is also a super crafty and super explosive pass rusher out of Boston College. 16 and a half sacks, led all of college football last year. He's absolutely phenomenal with great burst, bend around the edge, and then great hand-fighting moves to win with finesse. James Pierce Jr. out of Tennessee, another guy with some football character issues that might fall down the board. If he's here, I certainly think Dan Quinn thinks that his culture could potentially get him on the straight and narrow. Shamar Stewart out of Texas A&M. The thing about Dan Quinn and Joe Witt Jr., they love to run stunts. They love to run loops. They love to run games at the line of scrimmage. And a player like Shamar Stewart who can just detonate on an offensive guard from the edge rusher position so that one of your defensive tackles like Johnny Newton can loop around him and get to the quarterback, that's something that could be seen as very valuable to the Washington Commanders. Same thing with Mykel Williams, who's a phenomenal run defender. Nick Scorton is somebody that I think is less likely to be taken, but is certainly somebody that could be on the table for the Commanders. But they do need a pass rush specialist, in my opinion. I would really like to get Donovan Ezeraku if he falls to number 29. Then we look at some of the safety prospects that I think could be strong safeties and starting strong safeties for the Commanders right away. Now, Nick Emmanwori, you guys know if you've been watching the channel, I actually don't like his run defense. I think he's super slow to diagnose the run. I think he's better out in open space and as a deep defender and as an intermediate defender than he is a true box safety at this point. He doesn't take on blocks very well, but Kevin Winston Jr. out of Penn State is kind of a dark horse I want you guys to keep your eye on night one. All right, he missed pretty much his entire 2024 season with an injury, but his 2023 film is first-round caliber tape. He's phenomenal against the run, something that Emmanwori isn't really, in my opinion. I think he'd be better on day one than Emmanwori would be in a true strong safety role. So if you're looking to replace Jeremy Chin at strong safety, these are the two guys that the Commanders could take on round one. Then we look at a cornerback here, and this is another position that's kind of a sneaky need. You might be saying at home, but Jack, we just got Jonathan Jones in free agency. It was a 1-year, $5.5 million contract. That's not a lot of investment in him. And I think that, if they can find a corner that they feel can be a day one starter, they are not going to pass up that opportunity. Trey Amos out of Ole Miss, phenomenal technique. Would love him in this defense. I think he's a day one starter in the league and a first-round pick somewhere. Benjamin Morrison, if the medical stuff checks out with him, he's had some hip issues. If the medical stuff checks out, he might be the best corner in this entire class, maybe outside of Travis Hunter. He is that good of a player, in my opinion. Siobhan Revel Jr., another guy that's dealt with injuries but also has a high floor. Maxwell Harrison gave up a lot of yardage last year, but he's got the physical tools that you look for in a starting corner as well. So any of these four guys I think could be on the table as well for the Burgundy and Gold on night one. So what say you guys? Let me know down there in the comment section for today's pin question. What is the biggest need for the Washington Commanders to fill in the draft? Is it strong safety to replace Jeremy Chin? Is it to get another corner? Is it to get another wide receiver for Jaden Daniels? By the way, we'll talk about receivers here in just 1 second. But first, while you're answering that pinned question, let's have a word from our sponsor today at Game Time. And I'm someone who likes to take in baseball games on my days off and on the weekends, guys, because that's, as somebody that grew up playing baseball, if you guys didn't know, I actually played college baseball, and, it was my first love. And I love going to baseball games because it takes my mind off of things. It takes my mind off of work. And with guaranteed low price tickets on Game Time, I get to go see the Rangers play here in Arlington really whenever I want. And then also whenever I'm in the D.C. area, I can go to beautiful Nationals Park and watch the Nationals play. So Game Time is the official ticketing partner of the Commanders Report by Chat Sports. It makes getting tickets to any event faster and easier all on your phone, by the way, and it's free to download. Prices on the Game Time app actually go down the closer it gets to first pitch, with killer last-minute deals, all-in prices, views from your seat, and their lowest price guarantee. Game Time takes the guesswork out of buying MLB tickets. And let me tell you guys, the Game Time app is super easy to use. It's free to download. And then you just look into an event that you guys want to go see. They have awesome features like Game Time Picks that does the research for you to find you the best tickets at the best prices, so you can go to more events in your area. You can take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time today. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code CHATSPORTS. That's one word, all caps, CHATSPORTS, for $20 off your first purchase. Terms do apply. Again, create an account and redeem code CHATSPORTS. It's one word, all caps, CHATSPORTS at CHATSPORTS for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. Another position to keep your eye on is wide receiver, in my opinion, guys, because Deebo Samuel hasn't really ever been a true route runner, and even less so now that he's later into his career. I think he's more of a gadget type of player that's going to be used on jet sweeps, orbit motion, stuff like that. But I think you could definitely go out and get another route runner and another yak threat in this offense to pair with Terry McLaurin and really make this Commanders passing offense into a really scary unit heading into next season. Jaden Higgins out of Iowa State is somebody I want you to keep your eye on night one. I think he sneaks into round one. He's got excellent size, excellent body control to win contested catches down the field. He's phenomenal after the catch as well, and a super silky smooth athlete, guys. So phenomenal route runner. I love Higgins' game. He might even be a top 3 receiver in this entire class for me. Maybe outside of Travis Hunter, Tedorora McMillan, and Matthew Golden, so maybe top 4. So I really like him. Emeka Egbuka out of Ohio State could really fit what the Commanders are looking for. They already have a true number 1, so maybe they want more of that technician, someone that's more ready to help them win now. Emeka Egbuka is already a pro receiver. He has been the last couple of years, frankly, at Ohio State. Super technically refined. Love his game. Then Luther Burden III, if you're looking for kind of like a Malik Neighbors type of player to pair with Jaden Daniels, who won the Heisman with Neighbors as his number 1 receiver, you could get a guy like Luther Burden III, who's electric with the ball in his hands, and many people expect him to be there at number 29 overall. But another way you can help out Jaden Daniels is by getting him some more protection. I think left guard is a spot that the Commanders could look to upgrade as early as round 1 if players like Calvin Banks Jr. out of Texas, who's got shorter arms and I think would be an excellent guard at the NFL level. Somebody like Gray Zabel, who's expected to be a guard in the NFL as well, falls to you. Josh Connerly Jr. and Josh Simmons are more true outside or true offensive tackles. But, let's face it, Brandon Coleman struggled last year, and, Andrew Wiley hasn't played phenomenally here either. So if you're looking for somebody to pair with Laramie Tunsil, either on the right side or even probably on the right side, you could go Josh Connerly Jr. or Josh Simmons. And then Tyler Booker, played right guard at Alabama, so he'd have to move over to the left, but he's somebody that I think would fit what the Washington Commanders would want to do. He's a great power blocker, and I think that he would be an immediate fit here with the Washington Commanders and could start for you day one on the interior. And then the one running back that I think that I could see the Commanders take in round 1 is Travion Henderson out of Ohio State. There's some insiders that I really trust, like Benjamin Albright, that swear that Travion Henderson is going in round 1. Personally, I personally wouldn't do this. I don't love Henderson's vision. He's extremely explosive. He's a phenomenal pass blocker on third downs, and then he's got some upside as a receiver as well. I think he has a nice floor of being a really good third down back. But, if you're going to take a running back in round 1, I think he's got to be like a bona fide star talent, and his lack of vision, I think, gives his profile some fog of war that just makes me uncomfortable taking him at number 29. But hey, with Brian Robinson Jr. and Austin Eckler both slated to be free agents next year, I don't see either one of them getting a long-term deal with this football team. You do need to replenish this position with younger talent, so don't be shocked if Travion Henderson is the pick at number 29 either. So I hope you appreciated today's show, guys, man. If you made it to the end of today's show, type those real ones down there in the comments section, because tomorrow it is my final Washington Commanders mock draft. It hits the presses tomorrow. I'm going to have a bunch of interesting picks here, and one of the players that I talked about today will be my first round selection. So if you don't want to miss any of tomorrow's festivities, as well as all of the content we're going to be putting out on this channel throughout the NFL draft, pick cuts for every single Commanders draft pick this year, make sure you guys click that subscribe button if you haven't already. Until tomorrow, guys, go raise some hell.